Okay, so welcome here to TPI, amazing facility here in Oceanside, San Diego, and we're about to go through our driver fittings. Piers is going to go first, then me. We're going to share the whole experience to see if we can improve on what we've currently got and just see what we end up with. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. We've got Chris here.
Good hands with Chris.
Yeah,
Chris
we'll
is
have some
going
fun.
to
Yeah.
look after Piers and
Let's do
work his magic, hopefully.
Yeah, you've got to be really good here, by the way. Yeah? You can find me, if you can make me better, then you're really good. All right.
Tell me about your driver. What have you liked about it? What haven't you liked about it?
So what I like about this current driver is that it doesn't go left,
That's fair.
as you can
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But for the most part, because of the setup changes that I've done, and obviously putting everything well forward and wanting to hit up on the golf ball because I'm always hitting down on the golf ball, figuring out that the best way for me to be free and more accurate is to actually hit it hard and hit it high.
Yep.
So in order to do all of that, the changes I've done, it gets rid of the right side of the golf course, but then I needed a golf club to get rid of the left side of the golf course.
Got it.
So that's why this club was made the way it was, so that the golf ball, when I did my changes, that it wouldn't go to the left.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a balancing act. I kind of got my setup to match my swing, which took out the right side, but brought in the left side. So we then changed the driver to make sure we take out the left side.
And it's been working though?
Been really
Yeah,
good.
good.
Probably the best I've driven. I don't know, Andy can tell you, probably
I'd say ever.
Never?
ever.
I'd say,
Yeah.
I'd say the best he's
No
driven
pressure.
ever.
Yeah, I got my hands full, right?
no pressure.
say.
Yeah, that's kind of the shot there. So it's probably a little bit less than, but that's really nice. That was
really
middle
good.
And that was good.
Yeah, it was a nice shot, wasn't it?
Just like a pull fade a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's again all from having the ball forward and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, little low on the face there,
Probably a little bit low on the face, yeah.
but I mean really good. I mean you're 10 and 2100 there at 290 carry. You know, land angle there is 34.4.
Okay.
You know, I think that's something that's underutilized in driver fitting. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of fitters focus on spin or they focus on launch, when in reality, like you need a ball flight to support that spin and launch, right? Land angle to me is the sum of ball speed, launch, and spin. Okay. So you need to have a good land angle. That means you have a good ball flight, right? 2100 spin is a little low for 10 launch. Now you caught it off the bottom, so we'll see a couple more. But I'm looking for like 39 degrees of land angle on a driver.
Okay.
And then that means that your spin, launch, and ball speed work together, right?
The figure that really tells you if those are good
Is land angle.
is the land angle. 38 was, you said 39 was good, that was, I mean, 38's nice,
Yeah, it's really good, yeah.
And that was
Landing
the toe
and
strike,
going
which
forward.
obviously just flips
You know,
it a bit more.
it's you know, if you hit it lower, you need more spin. If you hit it higher, you need less spin, right? I think too many consumers now are so fit on like, I want a driver that spins at 2100.
Yeah.
When in reality, if you launch it at 8 or 9, that's not really useful on the course, right?
Yeah.
Because then you sit there and you start trying to launch it and you have a two-way miss going.
Yeah.
You know, generally what I see here with consumers is they come in with a driver that when they hit it really good, it spins good. But then when they miss it left, the spin's too low. And then when they miss it right, the spin's not high enough. And that's when I jokingly say, if a driver doesn't have enough spin, that player has a two-way miss.
Yeah.
They got a quick left, and then just because they're golfers, where's the next one go?
Yeah.
The next one goes high and right?
Yeah.
So we look at tour, what they'd look at a ton is their spin window, right? They want their left miss to be close to 2,000, and they want their right miss to be close to 3,000. So you have this low of 2,000, this high of 2,900, and then this sweet spot of 2,500, right?
That makes total sense. And you'll find a tour player will generally want, this is an obvious thing to say, but they'll only want one miss, won't they? And they'll want to do everything they can to guard against that.
Yeah,
Kind of like I'm not comparing myself to a tour player, but I'm comparing myself to someone who just doesn't want to miss. I want to be like Andy.
Yeah.
I just don't want a two-way miss.
For
It's
sure.
a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer on the golf course, right? Because you can't eliminate or reduce a side.
Yeah.
I think generally tour players actually, if you ask them how much more they have in the tank, like their drivers are kind of tamed down. If you look at the transition from college golf to tour, these college golfers are faster.
Yes.
And when they get to tour, they realize, hey, hitting fairways are pretty important out here. In college, you get away with it. You can kind of bomb and gouge it.
Yeah.
And once you get a course with rough and tight fairways, you know, you can see most tour players' speed actually comes down a little bit, spin comes up a little bit, right?
And you can, absolutely. I think it's an interesting one for anyone watching this, because it's like, our job is to work at the technique, your job is to give them the club, but I think there's a synergy between the three of us effectively, and that we should be able to work more together so that the golfer is educated on both.
For sure.
And it's a team to stop the ball missing right or
Absolutely.
left.
I mean, something I ask all my players is, what are you working on?
Yeah, of
Right? It's
course.
the first thing I ask is like, you're trying to get here, which is a little different than how you hit your irons and how you hit everything else, but it's important to know what they're working on. So you give them a club that works for them, but also transitions with them as they get to their goal of golf swing, right?
We spoke about this before with David, who was one of my clients.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, right, make sure you tell Chris
Yeah.
what you're working at.
Yeah.
Here's a video
I
to
loved
say
it,
what you're
yeah.
working at, but also you need to know where they've been as well.
Yeah.
Because if you've got someone who's pulling it and hitting it a little bit left, but they sliced it for 20 years, you need to know that.
For sure.
Because if you try and say, oh, we just want the ball to go a little bit more to the right, they're going, this is now the worst fitting ever because you're telling me to do something I hated doing for 20 years.
I wish more coaches did what you guys did, right? I fit one of your players. He came in with a video from you.
Yeah.
I don't think we had met yet.
No,
And it was just like, hey, fitter from Titleist, this is what I... And I loved it, though, because it gave me such good perspective on what you guys are working on for him.
Love it, love it.
How many shots do you normally need to see, Chris, before you're like, okay, I've seen enough, let's dive in?
Yeah, depending on the player, right? I want to see a good one and I want to see a bad one.
Okay.
So, I mean, 2 would be great. You know, for a better player, you might want to see a few more. I think 3 to 5 is solid. You know, if you hit one that's a total, I don't never hit that shot, I'll probably delete it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 3 pretty good ones. I think we saw your left, right?
Yes, we did,
and
yeah.
we saw your right, right?
Yeah.
And then we saw your good. So when we look at your spin window right off the bat, your low is 1500, your high is 2100.
Interesting, yeah.
So it's on the low side,
Yeah.
right? And I think, you know, it's because of what you're working on,
Yeah.
right? When you don't accomplish your swing goals, you see your spin drop quite a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But when you do it right, 115 feet, 38 land.
Yeah,
I would personally like to see your right miss maybe above 39,
yeah,
because that's just going to protect against your left miss being, you know, not 27,
yeah, yeah.
not 34, 32.
Yeah.
But when you hit it good, just like most players who come here, their drivers are pretty good.
Mhm.
Again, I think making good shots better in fitting doesn't really lower a player's score. It doesn't, right? If I make your good shot better, like there's not a lot of room to make your good shot better.
Yeah.
The way you play the best golf in the world is your bad shots got to be closer to
Yeah.
your good shots, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Your bad shot hurts you more than your good shot helps you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A perfect drive doesn't mean you make birdie, but a bad drive almost guarantees that you're going to make bogey.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
100%. 100%.
So here's our line.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we got GT2, GT3. We also have GT4 underneath. You know, just based off yours, GT4's low spin.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of already on the bottom end of
Okay.
spin.
Interesting that these look less used than the top
They
ones.
do, yeah. So we don't see as many 4s. Even on the PGA Tour, we don't see a ton of 4s in play. But it is a good option for a player, generally who's a little down, right? Who just has a really tough time keeping that spin, you know, below 3,000.
Okay.
The four is kind of a sneaky one sometimes. Even for high handicappers. I think high handicappers stay away from 4. But if you get a guy, you guys probably teach a ton of these guys, but who are down and across,
Yeah.
right? And their spin rates with their drivers are 4,000.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes even though the 4 is less forgiving, if it spins in a better window, it's actually more forgiving,
actually more forgiving.
for that player. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. So I want
Quite
you.
excited, by the way.
I'm excited too. I want you to hit the 3 and the 2 for
Okay.
sure, and we'll just test what's better. So my first step in fitting is I'm always trying to find which head are we going to go with, and then we'll really dial in on shaft. Then we have all these other tools of head weight, sure fit, hosel to really fine tune it.
Because obviously the important thing for me is that obviously having that anti-left in the club.
for sure.
So that's
Yeah.
obviously something that I'm going to be very mindful of when
Yeah.
do you want me to look at anything or not?
No, and if you don't want to,
No. Yep.
I like
I'm
it.
Good.
but I want your feedback on how it looks, how it feels, how it sounds.
Is this shorter than mine?
This is 45 and a half. Yes, it is a little bit shorter
shorter,
than
yeah.
yours. You are playing something pretty long.
Nothing to do with the distance, that isn't. It's just pure, like,
He needs the help. He's
my bad back, obviously.
He's approaching 50. He needs a little bit more length.
You were at
can we
the,
make this 50?
Yeah, you were at the USGA limit on your driver right
really?
now. Yep.
Well, I don't think that's not going to make any difference.
Hey, you know, you
with
never
the golf
know,
that I
you know.
play, but yeah, it's interesting. That was nice.
That's nice.
That was nice,
That's
wasn't
high.
it? Still in the air, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely a different flight compared to your.
How's it sound?
It's going to sound really weird. I'm not really sure.
Okay, good.
My wife says to me all the time, I don't listen, so. But again, I'm not,
Yeah,
but I'm now going to think about it.
Good.
But what I will say, I suppose, nothing bad,
Yeah, good.
but I'm not really in tune with it.
Numbers are good.
What was that? What was the land?
36 land,
Okay.
101 feet on a pole, right?
Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Remember, to me, your pole, I thought with your current driver, 32, 28
yeah.
land. So if I see that slight pole, that 5-yard pole, and it hangs in the air at 35,
Yeah.
I'm encouraged, right? Because then if you hit a right one, I want to see that closer to 40. So just like that spin window we discussed, there's also a land angle window that we want. Golf is hard, right? You're never gonna hit every shot the same. So if we can have this, okay, my miss is 35 left, my high right one is 41, right? Then we're kind of in this zone of you're never gonna lose a golf ball.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay. What was the spin on that one?
That was 1832.
Okay. And that's what I want to see a lot.
I was just about to say that that's what you like, isn't it? That height pierce.
I've spoke to Andy about this before, and so you know the goat.
Yeah.
Goat
Oh yeah.
Park, so unbelievable. 12th hole, par 5. There's a 100-foot tree.
Yeah.
And
I know
we have to hit it over it,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
I just see that all the time.
And
That's
that's
what I
kind
want
of
to
your thought.
see. Yeah.
So
So that was really nice.
This is kind of like for you knowing what you're working on in your swing. You know, you're trying to get that launch up. You're trying to hit up on it.
Yeah.
It's like you may have a little less spin today than I probably want because I know where you're going,
Yeah,
right?
okay, interesting.
Because if I give you like a 10 degree or an 11 degree driver to get the spin rate to 2200,
Yeah.
sure, it might work today,
Yeah.
but where your swing is going, I can
Yeah.
see the path that you're going down.
Yeah.
Eventually that's probably going to go 140, 150 feet,
Got you.
and then you're going to fight it and you're going to start
Yeah.
probably going back to low tee
don't wanna do
and
that.
lean on it, right?
What was the
38.2 land there.
38.2?
So it's really, really close.
height,
100,
120, did you say?
117. Yeah, it's really nice. 296 in the air.
Okay. And
The good thing about that one, into the wind, that's
Yeah.
not going to get
No,
touched.
it doesn't make a difference, does
Not
it?
going to get touched.
Not at that spin rate.
Ask me on the sound.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Okay.
I didn't think about it again.
What about the feel?
I didn't think about it again. I mean, yeah, Phil, again, nothing's jumping out saying it's bad. So on this shot, no more talking from peers.
Just sound.
I'm literally going to go sound and feel. What is it?
6.8 up again, that was.
Nice.
So opening the face to kind of get it to your eye that you like it,
Yeah.
lower the loft,
Yeah.
right? And to me, that brought your spin rate kind of into a dangerous miss, right? That's 1400 spin at 32 land angle. We already know what that is. You own that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But so now I have this trick here where I need to get that face in a position that you like,
Yeah.
but I need the ball to spin somewhere that we both
That you like.
right? Yeah.
This is why the fitting is so crucial, though, isn't it? You know, just to get the right head, it's got to suit your game. It's like, for people who go and buy a driver off the shelf now, I'm like, they're leaving so much on the table.
And this is great for anyone who wants the fitting as well. You'll know whether the fit is any good because they'll listen to you and they'll ask you questions about where you're at. And if you don't know where I'm at, then it's like the fit is just fitting what he wants to fit.
So the only thing I want to try here, here's the first head. It's a different shaft, right? So this shaft has a little bit more counter to it. By counter, it just means the weight's a little closer to the handle,
Okay.
right? Generally, a counterbalance shaft's harder to hit it left.
Okay.
Generally, that's why we got to fit it, right?
Okay. All good to go.
Yep.
Same head setup here.
Same head. I went B1 instead of D1. Again, just trying to keep that spin up. Again, and I made a little shaft change here too.
So we haven't really spoke too much about anyone watching this about what we're going into. Maybe we should start talking a little bit of so we're kind of gravitating to the GT3 potentially.
Yep. Just because the CG is a little further forward, right?
Okay.
And for players who don't like to see left,
Yeah.
CG, anytime you put CG further forward on a face, it tends to be a little bit more right biased, right?
Okay.
And then now I'm using a shaft to hopefully eliminate or reduce the left as well.
Okay.
Solid.
Yeah.
Good flight for a left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ball speed's up a touch too.
Okay. Interesting. What's the speed there? Ball speed?
71.
71. Okay.
Is that
That's
for you okay on the left miss?
On the left miss, that's the bottom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Is that
30,
spin you're on about then, or
32
Land
land.
angle.
32 land?
You know, remember your left miss came in was
27.
27,
Yeah.
right?
Anything
so
over 30 is a big
it's
difference.
a
isn't
big
it?
difference, right?
That was 17 spin, so
Okay.
that's nice.
It's good.
That's
Really
different.
good height.
Good flight that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not sure what the numbers say. Didn't really.
Low spin on
Pitch-
Low
Pictures.
spin, a little high face, but
Okay, yeah.
35 land, right?
Okay.
Off a little high face.
Yeah.
I mean, 291 in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shaft here, just try to compare the two feelings to me if you can. If you can't tell a difference, there's nothing wrong there.
This definitely feels like it's got a bit more movement in it.
Okay, yeah, it's a little looser, yeah.
But again, I'm not as precious about that as I was.
Yeah.
It was always about I can't feel anything, and that was because it was probably a two-way miss, and it was like I felt in my mind. Again, there's a lot of BS maybe floating around there about what a shaft is going to do for you.
For sure, yeah.
I
I think it's a timing mechanism for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But again, so I feel a bit more give, but I'm
Yeah.
not a problem.
It does look a little loose.
Yeah, okay.
Just a little bit. Try that. So what this is here, I just want to see it. This is GT3 10 degree.
So is this higher loft?
This is higher loft. I just want to see where is the point where it starts to go too high.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Okay,
So
interesting.
this is a 10 at 10.
Yeah. So as long as this, are you more worried about the height here or the spin?
Height. Yeah, I think the spin's going to be where I want it,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be in your window.
Okay.
Right, that's what I think, but we'll see. If it goes 140 feet, 130 feet, and it spins where I want it,
Yeah.
but you don't like how high it's going,
Yeah.
it's not right, right? Because that's not what you're used to, right? You want to match windows or apex heights throughout a player's golf bag, right? I did move CG on this one a little bit towards the toe.
So how do you do that?
So in T1 position here, we have two positions, neutral, T1, T2.
Yeah.
I moved it just to T1. Does two things, right? Keeps that face from closing,
Yeah.
right? It also puts more support or puts the CG behind your miss.
Okay.
If you hit it out towards the toe, now you got something there, right?
Yeah. Makes sense. So again, with this though, you could go to T2 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yep. T2's all the way out there. To me, your miss on the toe, you still hit it in the center sometimes, right? So I don't want to throw it out
Every
there.
now and then.
Every now and then. So I don't want to throw that weight so far out there
Okay.
that you lose anything out of the center.
Interesting.
You can feel the difference straight away, can't you?
So it'll actually make that strike sound a bit different too, because
Yeah.
I've moved CG in the head. You know what? Really nice there. So there's 2,200, right? There's 43 land on the right, which is okay because I
Yeah.
wanted to see it peak a little higher, but it was 134 feet in the air.
Excuse me.
That's pretty high, right?
2-2 spin, well 2.5 spin.
That's really good.
It's amazing. As soon as you
And
hit the shot though, you see the difference straight away.
What was the carry again, sorry?
296,
296.
which is where you were with the
Yeah,
9
yeah.
degree head. But if that's your right miss, and then
Yeah.
if you hit a left miss and we see it a little bit better, as long as you're okay with the window, right? And again, remember, this is me knowing where you're trying to get to in the golf swing.
Yes.
So like if you get there with this setup, could it then be too high?
Okay.
Maybe, right?
Interesting. I don't think it's going to go too much more than what it is, really.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be
I think
pretty
it'll be all
close.
right, yeah. And then if we go this route in the 10, I can actually set it down to 925 and get that face in the position that you like seeing it, right?
Yeah, and then the last one was 9 down to 825,
Yeah.
I think, anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a similar thing. So yeah, I think I'd rather,
Yeah. And if you want to hit that low one we chatted about
Yeah.
earlier,
yeah,
this is the head that's going to let you do that because the low one will have a
Bit
bit
more
more
spin.
spin, right?
yeah.
Okay,
It's a good miss
this
left
one's
again,
close,
that is,
yeah.
isn't it?
This one's going to be close. Now if I can get this down a little bit in loft,
Okay.
still more than the last one, and then
Yeah.
you get that face in the position you like, we're getting close.
Okay.
I think that T1 position's going to help you.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I think so. Again, I've kind of been there
Yeah.
last couple of years now, and it's,
Yeah, and some of our competitors, CG is already out there.
of course.
We know that. So
So where's the CG on this?
same spot, T1. So I just changed loft here.
But as a general anyway, when it's
Oh,
when it's
we're neutral.
neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is now a little bit down in loft,
Yep.
which will slightly open the face.
Yep.
How much loft have we took off this now?
3/4 of a degree.
Okay.
So it's at 925 effective.
Yeah.
Straight away, as much as I don't ground the club,
You like it?
it's just sitting
Yeah.
slightly open.
So as a fitter now for you, Chris,
Yeah.
are you like from with the journey that you've been, you're putting this one going. I think we're pretty close on this. Are you going okay?
Yeah.
Based on where you've been.
Yeah, we're really getting pretty close on this one. You know, that's your right miss, but because it has spin, right, you didn't lose much carry, 293 carry.
Yeah.
Land angle's a bit high, right?
Okay.
But that's your right miss,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. What was the land angle?
46.
Okay.
Yeah. It was 146 feet. That's the concern for me a little bit.
Okay.
Is that when you start swinging really, really good,
Yeah.
right, you're going to start to see this one flight a little bit too high. So it could just be 9 at 9 at B1 and go T1, and that's kind of we're getting close, yeah.
Okay. You're
I
kind
like
of
the
almost
shaft,
down
though.
to 2 now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, shaft feels nice,
Yeah,
to be
shaft's
fair.
good. I think it's
Both
better
feel-
than the blue. So you're used to having something with really, really low torque,
Okay.
right? So just not a lot of movement in the face. That's what torque is,
Yep.
right? It's face rotation, right? You like to have something that's really stable, right? And to me, that miss right there is a product of the shot you just hit.
Yeah, of course.
The shot you just hit went 146 feet.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a little too high. So what do you do as the golfer?
Yeah.
You try to make it go lower.
Okay.
What was his attack change, his club path change, all because the shot before was 146 and 46 land. And golfers are athletes sometimes, and they say, hey, you're trying to change the flight instead of just having a driver that really worked well for you.
So now you're going to go back to 9?
Go back to 9, not going to go down in loft,
Yeah.
but I am going to go just a touch flatter to get that start direction to the
Okay.
right. We haven't hit this setup yet, and I'm also going to go to T1.
Yeah.
Just move that CG just a little out towards the toe. I think this one's going to be it. And then at the end, I even want to try adding a couple grams to the head, right? Just because, you know, we make so many different options in the head. Some players respond to a little bit more weight sometimes in the head.
Okay.
Some people respond to a little bit less weight in the head.
Okay. Interesting.
That's okay. I welcome that right miss now, right? Because that right miss isn't 145 feet. So that's not going to make you hit the next one and
That's
try
right.
to
Yeah,
go
but yeah.
down on it.
Like it. How many golfers do you have to persuade? They come with a preconceived idea. Maybe they've looked on the website and they've seen, I want that.
Yeah.
They go there, I want that, and then suddenly they turn up and you don't need that.
Yeah.
You need this.
So I think it's important when you fit players never to make the decision for the player, right? Because if I tell a player he should play a 2, he has one bad round with it. Even though I might know it's better, where does it happen? Chris, I don't like my new driver, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to tell the story and let him make the decision, let him have ownership of it.
Yeah.
You know, luckily TrackMan does such a great job on displaying this information. It's very rare that a player makes the wrong decision when they know what they're looking for. I think what I do so well is I explain to the player, hey, it's about land angle. It's about golf. It's about ball flight. It's about dispersion. It's not always about the one you hit the furthest. I always say, I want to fit you for the driver that you play better golf with, not the one you necessarily hit the furthest once.
Yeah.
I think it's important for some
Yeah,
players.
that's good. I like that.
Because
I
it's
like
been
that.
on the data
You're
here as
persuading them though. You're still trying, in your mind, you're still like playing the game of,
Yeah.
I'm going to make you think that this is your idea.
Yes.
It's like working with a good player,
Absolutely,
isn't it? It's
yeah.
a top player. You
Yeah.
know, you got to almost trick them into it.
For sure. And I always say, like, you know, that saying of I want to lead the horse to the water, and I want him to want to drink it, right? Not tell him to drink. I want to say, you know what, I'm thirsty. I need that water,
I
right?
like it. I like it.
well. Those numbers on a right miss are
Love
looking
that.
pretty good, yeah.
So there, something to take note of. 119 on the right miss
Okay.
instead of 145,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Land angle 42 on the right miss.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Instead of 46. So then you won't fight that right miss as much.
Okay.
Your right miss should be above 39.
Yeah.
If your right miss was 39, I know the good one's going to be 37,
Yeah,
36, right?
Like it.
Come on then, focus on the shot,
Yeah.
Pierce.
Yeah, come on. Stop talking.
Yep. That's nice.
That's how I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Isn't that, look at that message though there. I mean, the fact that I've just done that.
Yep. It's good. I
The
mean,
fact I've just stepped behind, break your rhythm and all that. So
you have to, right? Still low spin, but you
Okay.
had the launch, right?
It's almost
96 and 33 land. That's on the left one.
Okay.
Again, this is us giving you room too, like where you're going to try to really
Yeah.
get to, right? I think when we
Definitely on the low
started,
side.
that was different.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a little left. That's 3 to 4 degrees more
Mm-hmm.
down than he's used to,
Yeah.
right? So I got to understand as the fitter, you know, this is telling me, hey, he needs to go to a 10 degree. We just gave you a 10 degree, and we know that that was too high, right? So we got to understand that if you make the swing that you're trying to make at 5 up, this is going to be really close.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting point.
Can do that.
Look at the attack angle on that one.
Good. That's nice.
Yeah.
171.
Back up to 6.8. That's been up to, back up to your normal.
And that's better. That was.
And there's the left miss at 35,
Yeah,
34.6, right? So you have a left miss at 34.6. You have a right miss at 42. That good one in that sweet spot is going to be like 38.
Yeah.
I mean, if we look at the two different sessions when we hit that 1K 9 degree, right? It's going to be here and here. Land angle 34, 33, 42 on the right, 33, 38, 35, right? So really, really solid there. Spin is a little on the low side. This setting at B1 was slightly better than it was at A1.
Okay.
Right? I like the 1K white for you.
Yeah.
I like the GT39.
Yeah.
I like it at B1.
Okay. Just remind me again, B1.
Just a little flat.
Little flat.
Just
Perfect.
to get that start direction to the right.
I like that.
I like it at T1.
Yeah.
But now I want to see, what if I put 2 more grams in T1?
Okay.
Right? And the cool thing about what this has given us over the years is, back in the day we used to use lead tape, or we used to use glue, right? They talk about rack glue and how hot melt, right? This gives me a glue gun during the fitting, right? I can just change the position, change how much we put there. And this swing weight's going to be closer to what you've been used to feeling with your irons being a little long, right?
Okay. So toe.
So you want to swing the heaviest hammer you can until you start losing club head speed, start losing ball speed. I think we have gotten to that point, right? We've lost club head speed, we've lost a little ball speed.
Wow.
Generally, the heaviest hammer you can swing, the more ball speed you'll get.
Okay.
But over the course of a round, over the course of a 2-day golf tournament, over the course of playing 3 days in a row, I think that driver would start to get a little heavy, right? So back to the standard weight. I do want to see it. This is T2.
Okay.
This is throwing it all the way out there.
So when you say what's T2 here, then?
So that's the CG as far as we can towards the toe.
Towards the toe.
I just want to see what that does to his face rotation. Yes.
That was nice.
That's your height, yeah, Piers?
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good.
That's what you want to see, yeah? That was on the left one as well.
Yeah, that's really good. 37.3 on the left at
Slightly
110 feet, 295 in the air. And that's, I think 5.2 is where he is, right?
It's not more. It's never usually that much more than that, really.
That's really good.
No, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You don't really want to be any more than that, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so first time with this driver, second time with this driver now. T1, I think, helps that a little bit.
Height-wise there, 110 feet on the left one. You like that height, Piers, yeah?
And the thing is as well, if going into T1 loses me a little bit of ball speed, but gives me 5 yards more to play with from the left, then I'm taking it all day.
For sure. Yep.
You went at that one a bit more, Piers, as well.
A little bit more, yeah.
I love that.
Good height again, and the right one, that was absolutely crushed.
Perfect.
5.6 up.
So right one, I love this. Right one at 42.2 at 125, right? That's why the 9's so good.
Okay.
The 10 degree right was 145 at 46 land, right? So now we see the right at 42, the left at 37. Now we've literally, we were happy 2 drivers ago when it was 46, like 34. Now we've even gotten a little bit tighter with T1. We have all these things that help us just really make fine tune it.
Love it.
He's like, give me another one.
Yeah, he's excited.
I was like, get in
2
there.
shots there, like the right and the left.
Yeah.
So when 37 on the left land angle, that was as well.
Yeah, and 42
so now
on
straight
the right.
away I'm like getting into, okay.
Yep.
Get a couple of those.
What I love seeing a fitting here is, like, if you start looking at the screen here, is the north and the south. That's consistency of carry. As a fitter, I feel like my #1 job is north and south.
Okay, interesting.
I think golfer, it's about a 50-50 relationship on east and west. Probably more 80-20 on your guys' world, but my job is to make this really, really tight.
Interesting.
This white one,
Too big.
that's the driver you came in with.
Yeah, okay,
right?
interesting.
So north and south is great, right?
Yeah.
And this was the heavy one. We clearly just dropped that. It was just too heavy. And it's good. I like that we tried the heavy one kind of later in the fitting session because that's later in the round of golf, right?
It's more when you think it's going to be a problem anyway.
Yeah,
so yeah.
That's why we tried it.
So one left, one right. Now just hit one straight, Piers.
Yeah. And that,
39.
that left and right, to be fair, they're both in play.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, it's good shots.
I welcome
that
it.
one as a left.
Yeah.
Nice, isn't it?
It's 10 yards left,
Yeah.
but it has some spin to support it, right? When your left one's diving, we're in trouble.
As we said, that's for me, that shot there is a shot where I'll either see that shot where it's a little bit left and then cut back, or it's dead straight.
So look at that, right? This was your left miss that you walked in with.
Yeah.
That's the 1500 spin world of left. That left miss is 2022,
RPM.
right? Land angle's still low, but
Yep.
it's fine because it's, you know, you lost, that carried 285. Your average with your driver was 285. You see how much better this one is, right? We didn't change your total too much in distance.
No.
Because your driver was so low of spin. I think that's inflated. I think that's only rolling out that far, maybe in a different part of the country, or, you know, the other side of the pond there. When reality in San Diego, we care more about carry, right? All right, let's end on a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
And again, it's just not quite middle, but it's good. It's in play.
That looked like, you know, just the first hole on a Sunday morning.
Exactly. I didn't want it. That didn't spin out of control too high. That was really nice.
It's really good. The right miss at 42 and 120.
Okay, let's go. Let's try the low one.
Okay.
I'll give you these.
All right. Yeah.
And that would be, if a shot like that for me is great if it's really tight in and maybe hit a few funny ones, but I don't want to play it too much 2 points.
No, but it's almost like if it's 300 yards to the end of the fairway or something, right?
Yeah.
And 3-wood leaves you back to like 260, and you don't want a 7-iron in. You want that 9-iron right at the end. You want to drive that one at the end. 3-wood, I love that.
Chris, so there we have it. What have I got?
Yeah, so you ended up in the GT3 9-degree set to B1, right? Just a little bit flatter to get that start line a little bit further right.
Yeah.
And then T2 in the setting, which was just moving that CG out there towards the toe.
Yeah.
Did two things, right? Helped against the toe strikes
that
plague you sometimes.
Yeah.
And it also gets that face to kind of hang open a little bit more for your pass.
Nice. Excited to get these on the golf course and test them out. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let us know any questions and comments down below, and we'll see you in the next video.